Gentlemen, buckle up. Because what I'm about to share with you is not small talk, not dating fluff, and not something you'll find in a clickbait listicle. This is the kind of knowledge that can shift the energy in a room without you saying a word. Picture this. You're with her. No touching. No lingering stares. You're not even sitting next to her. And yet, she's already feeling you. Her heartbeat subtly picks up. Her mind drifts to you without warning. A magnetic pull she can't quite explain begins to take hold. That's not magic. That's not luck. That's not some Hollywood trick. That is psychology. Welcome to Living Stoic, living by inner law. If you're here right now, it means you've arrived at the start of something different. This is not about gimmicks, cheap lines, or pretending to be someone you're not. This is about power, the kind of masculine energy that doesn't chase, it draws in. The kind that doesn't seek permission, it commands attention. And today, I'm not starting small, I'm coming out swinging. Because when most men talk about attraction, they talk about looks, money, or charm. And while those things can matter, they're not what creates that deep, involuntary pull inside a woman. The truth? Desire begins in the mind long before it's felt in the body. And if you understand how to awaken that, you stop competing with other men entirely. So today, I'm giving you 10 powerful ways to mentally, emotionally, and physically ignite a woman's attraction, ways that go far beyond the surface, deep into her psychology. And let me warn you now, this is not safe PG talk. These are strategies that can shift a woman's state, her mood, and her body without a single touch. If you've been stuck in a dry season lately, what I'm about to share is the rain. Let's get into it. 1. Create anticipation. This is the first key. And it's deadly effective when you understand it. The most powerful desire a woman feels doesn't come from what's happening in the moment. It comes from what she's imagining will happen later. That's why entire industries exist around women's fantasy novels like 50 Shades of Grey. They work because women are experts at translating mental imagery into physical sensation. Men are mostly visual. Women? They feel it in their mind first. This means your words can create a stronger reaction than your hands ever could if you know how to use them. And no, you don't need to be a poet or a novelist. Sometimes a single, well-placed sentence is all it takes. A note on her mirror saying, "Last night is still burned into my memory." A text in the middle of her workday, "I can't stop thinking about what I'm going to do to you tonight." This is not random flattery. It's targeted fuel for her imagination. Relationship expert Esther Perel once said, "Foreplay starts the minute after you finish having sex." She's right. For women, mental lubrication always comes before physical readiness. The golden rule here? Safety first. Not physical safety, but emotional safety. When a woman feels truly safe with you, her guard drops, her mind opens, and her fantasies run free. That's when she begins to crave you before you've even touched her. Here's how you put this into play. Keep the tension alive throughout the day. Drop hints. Suggest without spelling everything out. Whisper something as you leave for work, but don't stick around for her reaction. She'll think about it all day, and when you finally do touch her, she'll have already touched you in her mind 100 times over. 2. Master the power of the makeout. Here's a truth most men don't realize. Kissing is a lost art and a lost opportunity. A kiss can make her knees weak, or it can make her mentally check out before anything else begins. You've probably experienced this yourself. The date was going well, the chemistry was building, and then the kiss felt rushed, awkward, or mechanical. Suddenly, the spark is gone. The problem? Too many men treat kissing like a speed bump on the way to sex, instead of a destination in itself. A kiss is a slow burn, a dance, a test of rhythm, patience, and emotional awareness. And I'll say this bluntly, lose the lizard tongue approach. Shoving your tongue down her throat is not seductive. It's sloppy. Start with just enough contact to feel her breath mixing with yours. Gentle pressure. Slow exploration. Listen to her breathing. Feel her responses. A light bite on her lip, that can send a shiver down her spine. Kissing just outside her lips, along her jawline, or beneath her ear, that's where anticipation lives. Here's a move that keeps you in her mind for days. Leave your mark where only you'll know. The slope of her shoulder, her lower back, anywhere that's hidden but intimate. Think of it this way. The goal isn't to finish the kiss quickly. It's to make her wish it would never end. 3. Tantric-style massage. Touch is one of the most direct ways to bypass a woman's logical mind and speak straight to her body. But here's the truth. Most men use touch too aggressively, too predictably, or too mechanically. A great massage, especially one with a tantric edge, is not just about easing tension. It's about creating a slow, deliberate buildup of sensation that turns relaxation into desire. Start with her face down, completely comfortable, no rush in your movements. Lay your palms flat and slide them slowly from her shoulders down to the middle of her back. Keep the pressure steady but smooth. Let your hands linger just long enough for her breath to deepen. As she relaxes, drift lower, her lower back, her hips, the upper curves of her thighs. But don't stay in any one place for too long. Circle back, retrace your path, keep her guessing. The magic is in the tease. Even if she's fully clothed, you can get close, dangerously close, to her most sensitive zones without crossing the line immediately. That's what fuels the fire. The brain starts anticipating what comes next, and the body responds before you even deliver it. If you want to turn this into an unforgettable experience, use your fingertips to trace shapes along her inner thighs, never quite reaching the center. Her body will lean into your touch before her mind even realizes it. That's when you know you've got her in the moment, and she's stopped thinking about anything else. Number 4. The whisper effect. Sound is one of the most underestimated triggers in attraction. When you whisper to a woman, really whisper, you're not just giving her words. You're entering her personal space in a way that feels both intimate and invasive, in the best possible sense. It's not about volume, it's about proximity. Your lips close to her ear, your breath warm against her skin, your voice lower than normal, almost a growl. And here's the key. It doesn't even need to be overtly sexual to have an effect. Sure, you can lean in and tell her exactly what you're going to do to her later, but sometimes the most powerful line is something unexpectedly genuine. Imagine this. She's cooking or working or just brushing past you in the hallway. You stop her gently, place one hand on her hip, and whisper, "If I had to choose all over again, I'd still choose you. Every time." Then you walk away. That's it. You leave her with the warmth of your words and the absence of your presence. She'll feel that in her chest and in her pulse. But remember, sincerity is non-negotiable. If you're just saying something to get her into bed, she will feel it instantly. Women have an unshakable radar for insincerity. When you mean it, that's when you ignite something much deeper than arousal. 5. The journey, not the race. Too many men approach a woman's body like a racetrack, fast laps straight to the finish line. But the real magic is in treating her body like a map you've never fully explored before. Start at the top. Kiss her neck slowly. Let your lips linger where her pulse beats. Move to her shoulders, her collarbone, and trace your way down, not in a straight line, but with detours. Her breasts, her ribs, her stomach. Take your time. When you reach her inner thighs, pause. Tease the edges of her most sensitive areas without rushing in. Let the tension build until she's practically pulling you in herself. And here's where knowledge meets skill. Just inside, on the front wall of her body, is the G-spot, a slightly textured area you can stimulate by curling your fingers upward in a rhythmic motion. Combine that with gentle attention to her clitoris, and you've just given her an experience that will be burned into memory. But here's the real rule. Don't try to make her climax quickly. Draw it out. Let her feel every stage. Make her beg for the moment when you finally take her there. 6. Her weak spot. Every woman has one, a place on her body where the moment you touch it, her whole demeanor changes. For some, it's the inside of the thighs. For others, the lower back. For others still, the nape of the neck, the wrists, or even the backs of the knees. These are places where nerve endings and blood flow meet, meaning they're primed to trigger strong sensations. Finding the spot isn't about interrogation. It's about exploration. Kiss her in unexpected places. Let your fingertips graze areas you wouldn't normally think of. Watch how her breathing changes. Listen for the subtle hitch in her voice, the quiet sigh, the way she leans in without meaning to. This isn't the same as tickling. You're not trying to make her laugh. You're trying to make her body override her mind. When you find that spot, you'll know. It's like flipping a switch from conversation to connection in a single touch. 7. The power of dry humping. Now, this one might seem almost childish at first, but if you understand human psychology, you'll see why it's one of the most devastatingly effective ways to create almost unbearable sexual tension. Here's why. When you both keep your clothes on, you're removing the easy access. That means the brain takes over, and when a woman's mind starts filling in the blanks, her body follows. Every press, every rub, every shift in movement becomes magnified because she's craving what she can't have just yet. It's a throwback to teenage makeout sessions where everything felt electric, not because anything extreme happened, but because everything was about anticipation. That hunger, that impatience, that almost aching desire, you can recreate it. Sit her on your lap or straddle her hips, bodies pressed together. Start slow. Let her feel the firmness of your body against hers without moving much at all. Let the tension sit there like a coiled spring. Then, just as she starts to grind into you, match her rhythm, but never let it become hurried. By the time you do strip away that final layer of clothing, it's like opening a floodgate. The build-up makes the release 100 times more intense. And here's the important thing. This isn't about teasing to frustrate. It's about teasing to elevate. You're charging the atmosphere until the only thing left is for both of you to let go. 8. Scent. The invisible trigger. Smell bypasses logic entirely and goes straight to emotion. That's why a single whiff of a certain cologne can bring back memories of a specific night, a specific kiss, or a specific person. If you want to live in her mind rent-free, find a scent that feels like you and stick with it. Over time, her brain will start connecting that smell with your presence and with every heated moment you've shared. But it's not just about cologne. It's the whole package. Freshly washed clothes, clean skin, a beard that smells faintly of whatever soap or oil you use. It all works together to send one subconscious message. I am a man who takes care of himself. You don't need to drown yourself in fragrance. In fact, overpowering cologne is a turnoff. A couple of sprays on pulse points, your neck, your wrists, maybe your chest, is all it takes. And here's the thing. A woman might not even consciously think he smells good. She might just find herself leaning in a little closer, staying in your space a little longer, without fully realizing why. That's the power of scent. It's not loud, but it's unforgettable. 9. The shared shower. This is one of the most overlooked forms of intimacy. Not because of the obvious physical closeness, but because of what it represents. Trust, vulnerability, and connection without barriers. In the shower, there's no dim lighting to hide behind, no blankets to shield yourself with. It's just the two of you, exposed, unfiltered, and close enough to feel every drop of water running between you. But the key to making a shared shower erotic isn't to rush into touching her sexually. It's to slow down and turn it into an experience. Wash her hair. Really take your time, massaging her scalp, letting your fingers run through her strands. Run your hands over her shoulders, down her back, over her hips. Use the water and your touch to map her body in a way that feels deliberate, almost reverent. This isn't about getting clean. This is about making her feel beautiful and desired in one of her most vulnerable states. That kind of affirmation doesn't just make her want you. It makes her trust you on a level most men never reach. And yes, sometimes it will naturally lead to hot, slippery intimacy right then and there. But even if it doesn't, you've planted a seed that will stay in her mind long after she steps out and wraps herself in a towel. 10. The aphrodisiac of laughter. If you can make a woman laugh, really laugh, you've already stepped ahead of most men. Why? Because laughter lowers defenses. It relaxes her body, makes her drop the mental armor she wears in her daily life. When she's laughing, she's open, and openness is the perfect gateway to intimacy. Humor doesn't have to mean being a stand-up comedian. It's about being playful, present, and tuned into the moment. It's about inside jokes that only the two of you share, light teasing that makes her smile, and sarcastic banter that creates a spark. Science has shown that humor is linked to intelligence, creativity, and strong social instincts, all traits that women are hardwired to find attractive. Send her a playful text during the day. Make a joke in the middle of cooking together. Use a callback to something you laughed about weeks ago, just to show her you remember. Because when she associates you with joy, ease, and fun, she also starts associating you with desire. And that's a connection that's far deeper than just physical attraction. The wrap-up: turning rain into a storm. So there you have it. 10 powerful ways to ignite a woman's desire, not just in her body, but in her mind and emotions first. Some of these are playful, some are slow burn, some feel almost too simple to matter. But when you understand female psychology, you realize they all work because they bypass surface-level attraction and go straight to her deepest wiring. A woman doesn't just want to be touched, she wants to be seen. She wants to feel safe enough to drop her guard and let her imagination run wild with you in it. When you give her that, when you combine anticipation, sensory triggers, connection, and emotional play, you're not just getting her in the mood, you're creating a state where she wants to be with you. And here's where most men get it wrong. They rush. They think getting her turned on is a switch they can flip. But the truth is, it's a story you build together. Each moment, each gesture, each word is a sentence in that story. And if you write it well enough, by the time you get to the final chapter, she's already been living the ending in her mind all day. This is what separates men who try to seduce from men who live in a state of natural attraction. You don't just pull these techniques out like tricks. You weave them into who you are. When you live with grounded presence, when your energy says, "I don't need to rush because I know what I'm doing," she feels it. And that calm confidence is the most intoxicating thing you can carry. So the next time you're with her, don't just think about the goal. Think about the build-up. Think about the art of it. Because when you master that, you're not just ending a drought. You're creating a storm she'll never forget. If even one of these shifts your connection tonight, let me know. Drop a comment and tell me which one you're going to try. I read them all. And if you know another man who could benefit from this, send it his way. Let's raise the standard together. This is Living Stoic, reminding you. Living by inner law. Stay grounded, stay intentional, and remember, the mind is the most powerful erogenous zone you'll ever touch.